How we doing, y'all? Desynced, Bugatti B, Mad Drum Guy. How we doing, y'all? I see the lurkers out there as well. Appreciate the support tonight. We're gonna run through not just football, but a little bit of b-ball picks as well. There's a b-ball pick tonight as well, and we'll get after it. The record on the year, which is strictly football up until now. 131 and 100, still good for 57%. We had a rough week the last 2 weeks, but you know what? I'll take, 9 winning weeks and 2 or 3 not so good weeks. I'll take it. Can't be perfect. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You're going to have some bad weeks. You're going to have a lot of good weeks, hopefully. So let's get into it so we can fire up the races afterwards. Turn the music down here. So recap. Week 11 was wild. A lot of bad beats, a lot of chaos, a lot of big games. So basketball-wise on the wallet, I only lost Memphis moneyline. I don't remember even who they were playing, but I lost them. And I got North Carolina moneyline against Kansas. I got South Carolina against Xavier. I got Buffalo. No, they played somebody else, but I got Santa Clara. I got Buffalo winning against Green Bay, and I got the USC live -6.5, and that was a football play against Northwestern. On Saturday, not so good. Kansas State was up 24-7. They let the team come back. That was brutal for us. Oregon dominating the whole game, like they, in control the whole game. Iowa scores with a minute left. I don't know if you guys watched it, but they snapped the ball and the clocks were at zeros, but they didn't call it. So I don't know. I'm not blind. I saw all zeros when the ball was snapped. They got away with that one. That would have been a turnover, and we would have covered. But glad they came down and won the game. We got Coastal, best bet. We missed James Madison by 1.5. Bad beat. They were dominating that game too. Let them come back. UConn, outright winners. We didn't even need the points. They won the game. We got Temple. We missed Mississippi State, Washington, BYU, and Indiana. Indiana game was wild against Penn State. We got West Virginia. We got the North Carolina Stanford under. We got Kansas, both on the show and on the wallet. We missed Navy. I got Cal. We didn't need the points. They won the game. And I missed San Diego State for the first time all year. So we were 11 and 10 on the wallet, which is winning by a small margin, but not a good week. Other plays that we saw on the channel, we had Houston. We had the over with Memphis, South Florida. We have already mentioned these four. We also added Liberty. We missed that. They were winning that game. We got Delaware. We missed East Carolina, but we got the half. We got the 17.5. I did mention that I like that first half play. We got Syracuse covered against Miami. We got A&M. I don't know why I didn't bet that on my wallet. Another different play that wasn't on the wallet was TCU. We missed that. And the Vanderbilt-Auburn under that everybody thought would come through. It actually was kind of a shootout. That was odd. And we missed LSU by a point. They lost by 11. That was a bad beat. They were right there the whole game. Oregon State, wow, that was terrible. And there you go. 11 and 13 on the channel, not great. Could be worse. You could have gone 7 and 14. 11-13 is not that bad. But I don't like doing it. So it is what it is. Week 12 already underway. In basketball this week, I missed Kentucky, Murray State, but got Florida State on Monday. I parlayed all of them together, added 3 points, got the parlay. So we went positive that day. Tonight, I'm on West Virginia money line, which I believe they've already won. Bama, Purdue are still playing, and it's pretty close right now. I just need them to win the game. And Wichita State, I have -5.5. I believe they're up by 18 over Loyola Chicago right now. So we got some basketball action right now. First play of the night will be a Friday hoops game that I noticed. Let's see if I can find it. It's a number I really like. It's the Arizona-UCLA rivalry in basketball. One of these teams looked really good this year. One of them has been a little head-scratching. Give me the team that's looked really good this year. Arizona. They already have beaten Florida. Top 10 win. And they have won their other 2 games against mid-majors by over 25 points each. Meanwhile, UCLA has only beaten East Washington by 6 and Pepperdine by 9-ish. They just haven't looked that good. That doesn't mean they won't show up for the rivals at home on Friday. But I think I'm going to take the better team here. From what I've seen in the small sample size, you got to take Arizona here. So give me Arizona as one of the best bets tonight on the show. But that's a Friday basketball game. And that was really the only basketball game that stood out to me tomorrow. So let's get over to football. Friday, we got Clemson and Louisville. Louisville's looked better this year. It's kind of fishy that this line is so short. I think the Louisville running back's out. I'm probably not going to play this game. But if I had to, I probably would take Louisville here. Minnesota, Oregon, the value's gone. I would have liked Oregon at 23.5 or 24. Value's gone now. Oregon's still dealing with a ton of injuries at receiver. I don't know how many guys are back. Maybe check the Discord tomorrow if I get an update about the receivers. If 1 or 2 of them come back, 25.5 is not too bad because I feel like they could win this game by 27. But you're not getting a ton of value here. I think 23.5, 24 key number, that key number's gone. However, I do think Minnesota's going to struggle to score. So let's have a look at the team total here. Because our defense shows up every week. So let's see Minnesota total points for the game. It's probably like a touchdown, if I were to guess. Are they going to give it to? There it is, all the way at the bottom. I was close. It's 8.5. I do like that under. We'll take that. I think Minnesota gets on the board once, and that's it. So we'll take the team total under 8.5 for sure there. That's probably the best way to attack that game. Notre Dame Pitt. Oh, it's jumped up another point. Do we have a better number over here? We don't. Shoot. On my best board, I got 10, and that was early in the week. But I still kind of like it. Give me the Fighting Irish. Add them to the best bet board. They've been killing everybody except Boston College. I don't think they cared about that game. Pitt and Notre Dame are, even though they're ranked and close as far as the rankings go, 9 versus 22, power ratings wise, these two are a mile away. We're talking like top 8 versus top 45. Pitt is not the top 25 power rating team. They're not even in my top 35. You'll be at ND versus Pitt, Mad Drum Guy? Nice. That'd be a fun little game to go to. Who are you pulling for? I think just Notre Dame is just better right now. Pitt's having a great year. And this isn't a league game. Pitt can still go to the playoff if they win the ACC. But I just think in this particular game, they're a little outmatched, and I think Notre Dame wins by 14 here. I think Pitt will hang around there for a little bit, though, for sure. Michigan, Northwestern. Look, the over-under is telling you this is going to be a dogfight. It's at Wrigley Field. Northwestern's not that bad, especially when they're at home. Now, this is kind of a quasi-home game because they're in Chicago still, but, it's Wrigley Field. Probably going to be a little windy, I would think, because, Wrigley Field, Chicago, right there on the lake there. Michigan, why do I feel like they win this game by 10? So I will take the Wildcats here in the points. Wouldn't be surprised if the under came through as well. I like to see Pitt find a way. That would be incredible. Honestly, I'm rooting for Pitt to do it because I don't want Notre Dame to jump my Ducks And there's a couple other teams I kind of want to see find a way into the playoff. And a loss for Notre Dame would eliminate them, I believe. So, yeah, I kind of am rooting for Pitt as well. But I just, from a business perspective, I got to take the points there with the Irish. Hey, Yogami, how we doing? We're doing some football picks and basketball before we hit the races. Usually takes about 20 minutes. Indiana, Wisconsin. I don't know. I mean, Wisconsin's playing better right now. I feel like 29.5 is too much. I hate fading Signetti. But why do I feel like it's going to be 28-0? You know what I mean? Like 31-3. I feel like Indiana wins by 28. Wisconsin's been playing better. You know, they just beat Washington. They played fairly well against Oregon. I know the weather sucked. It probably would have been better if it wasn't a monsoon. But Wisconsin's been playing a little bit better lately. So I will. I think 29.5 is a little bit too much there. You may wait till see if you get a 30. Or a 31, even better, and just take hope that Indiana just they're happy with a 28-point win. Yeah. I like mixing it up here on the stream. We do a little travel, a little sports, a little gaming. Try to keep people on their toes. I actually think I'm going to do a travel stream next week, maybe on Tuesday. We'll do South America, do Ecuador or Peru package. I don't know what to do with this game. I feel like this is an over because Cincinnati likes to score. Arizona has good defense, but I don't know if they've seen an attack like Cincinnati yet, and I also think Cincinnati's defense is bad. So this feels like an over type of game, the 56.5 there. I also would probably take Arizona if this got to +7. They've had a tougher strength of schedule. They tend to be in games, and I think Cincinnati got exposed a little bit at BYU, but they do play well at home. I don't know. I feel like wait to get the 7.5. Take the Wildcats. South Carolina and Texas A&M. Well, you get 19.5 on DraftKings versus 18.5 here. I will take all of those 19.5 points with South Carolina. I love this A&M team. But this is a look-ahead spot. They just played Missouri, and I think they got a tougher opponent on deck with Texas. They may even play somebody before that. But I think in South Carolina has only been blown out, once? They're usually in the game. I feel like Texas A&M gets out of here with like a 14-point win. So I will take the Gamecocks. Give me the Cocks. You almost have to take Navy here because this is, aside from the Army-Navy game, this is their whole season. South Florida has looked better this year, but 10.5 and being at home, it's the Tampa kids are going to be a little cold potentially in Navy. Well, let's actually see what's the temperature looking like here in Annapolis on Saturday. I didn't even look at that. On Saturday, it's actually a little warmer than usual. It's still not the 80 that Tampa's used to, so it'll be a little chillier. But if this was at night or early in the morning, I feel like you definitely take Navy here because of the weather. But I still like the 10.5. That's a lot. I know Navy didn't look great last week, but they didn't have their quarterback, and that was on me for not knowing that on the show. If I had known that, I wouldn't have bet it. I didn't know their quarterback wasn't playing. I usually do know that stuff. But he's back this week, and I expect this to be a pretty important matchup for both. So I think we'll take Navy here. I wouldn't be surprised if the over comes through as well. Another best bet here. I got it at 6.5, but it doesn't look like you can get that anymore. Let's see if we can find it. I don't even see the game anymore, unfortunately. What'd they do? Why am I not seeing it? Okay, you can get a 7, so that's good. That's good. Here's the third best bet on the day. Give me the Trojans. Not a huge fan of the Trojans, but I like them in this spot. Iowa coming off of an emotional loss at the buzzer to Oregon. Put their hearts out there. Now they got to go all the way over to L.A. Long travel spots. And I just don't know if they have the offense to keep up with USC. Get the 7, though. If you can find a 6.5, even better. I found a 6.5. But it looks like 6.5s are now gone. Get the 7. It's important. Don't do the 7.5. Get the 7 for sure. And I'll take the Trojans. I think they're just going to be a little let down. And USC still has a lot to play for. You know, even though they got Oregon on deck, small look-ahead spots here. I just think that they play better at home. They are really tough at home. They're not a great road team. So give me the Trojans. Cookie Queen, how we doing? How's your Thursday night treating you? I'm on NC State here. I mean, Mario Cristobal has been Cristoballing lately, and this is a lot of points. I mean, NC State just beat Georgia Tech, so they show you they're capable of hanging with the big dogs. I think this is far too many points. I think Miami will be fine just getting out of here with a 7 or 10 point win. 15.5 is a lot to ask for here. I mean, they couldn't even cover against Syracuse with a backup quarterback. So I think NC State, you got to take them there. I don't know. I mean, this is Texas Tech or pass. I'm probably not going to do this game. It's a lot of points, a little inflated, but they did just beat BYU by, by 20-ish points. So UCF's a terrible road team. So I think this is a Texas Tech or pass situation. I wouldn't take UCF here. Too risky. But I'm not going to pick that game. I like Duke. This almost made the best bet board. Unranked team, favored by 4.5 to a ranked team. Suspicious. Somebody knows something. I'm going to go with the somebodies and take Duke. They win by 7 or 6 here. Almost a best bet play here. And it looks like sharp money coming in on Oklahoma. Well, it could be the Publix, honestly, but I am not going to fall for that. I am taking the Tide. I think Bama will win this game by 7. And I don't know. Oklahoma, they shouldn't have beaten Tennessee on the road. And we all saw what Tennessee did at Bama. Yeah, they hung around there and had a bad turnover that had a 14-point swing. But really, I mean, if Tennessee had a tough time at Bama, what makes you think that Oklahoma won't? Yeah, I think Oklahoma's defense will hang in there. And Alabama didn't look great last week, but I think their focus was more on this game. So I think you got to take the Tide here. It's priced pretty well, but I think they win by 7. Georgia Tech, Boston College, I'm not touching that. It is a lot of points to lay on the road, though, especially all the way up there in Massachusetts. I think you got to take Tennessee here. I mean, Josh Heupel usually runs up the score against mid-majors that come into his place. It's basically what number does he want? I mean, this could be 45-0 at halftime. So you got to take the Vols here. I'm doing good, Cookie Queen. I am ready for the weekends. The Walmart sales start tomorrow. I already did the Target run last week, so we're going to try to wrap up the little man's presents tomorrow. Get it all taken care of. Florida, Ole Miss. A little surprised that this was 16.5 when I saw it. I don't know why it's been bet down to 13.5. That's really weird to me. I think this is a smash spot for Ole Miss. A little revenge from last year because Florida knocked them out of the playoff. And Lane Kiffin, we don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he's been offered money with Florida. Maybe he hasn't. But on the chance that he has, wouldn't you think that he wants to beat up on the program that he's going to be coaching at next year? Like kind of an audition, you know what I'm saying? And I think Florida's just done. After losing the rivalry game to Georgia, I just don't think they care anymore. Then they got lit up by Kentucky. They're just done. So give me the Rebels here. I'm not touching this game. I mean, Utah's better, but why is it only 7.5? I'm staying away from that. I'm going Georgia here. I think they win by 7. This is priced really well. Maybe you can get a 5.5 somewhere. That'd be even better if you could. Come on, give me the lines. Got to refresh. Let's go find that Georgia. Let's do a little Control F trick. Of course, there's a lot of Georgias. Yeah, it's 6.5 everywhere. So, I think Georgia will win this. I wouldn't be surprised if the under comes in as well. Two good defenses. I just don't trust Texas as much as Georgia here. Ohio State's covered every game except last week. So they have one of the best cover records in the country. So I would take Ohio State here over UCLA. I don't know why it swapped over to top 25. So we missed some games, unfortunately. But yeah, I would be on Ohio State there. Let's see if we missed some others. I like Arkansas to cover against LSU. I just think LSU kind of will check out after losing to Bama last week. Arkansas has been kind of feisty. They've been playing kind of competitively aside from the Auburn game ever since Petrino took over there. And there's a rivalry. And this is Arkansas's probably their biggest rival. You could argue Texas A&M as well, but LSU has other big rivals. I think this is bigger for Arkansas than LSU. And LSU coming off of a loss to Alabama, a little emotional, and their coach is gone. I just feel like Arkansas will be able to hang around in this one. Let's see if we missed anything up here that I liked. Probably not. Because we had on top 25 only, which is annoying. Okay. Yeah, I'd probably take Tulsa here. Oregon State, that's a long trip down there to Tulsa. Puzzling loss to Sam Houston State last week. If this gets a 3, I like it even better, but I think you got to lean with Tulsa there. Oregon State is just waiting to get to next year. North Texas, I mean, you would think they'd be able to cover this, but it has a lot of points. I like that better at 16.5, so I'm not touching that. Here's another one of my best bets of the week. I've never played this song before. The first time for everything. I like New Mexico. Colorado State, ever since they fired their coach, is a disaster. I hate to say it, but if you've been watching, you know what I'm talking about. They just look lost, confused, disorganized, no effort. And New Mexico has had a pretty decent year. So I actually got this at 14. Shop around, see if you can get a 14 out there. I think the market is starting to catch on that this is a mistake and they're hammering the number. So shop around, see if you can find, it's 14.5 there too. For my show purposes, because I already bet it, I got the 14. So I'm keeping it, but I still like the 14.5. I feel like they win by 17 or more. So you're fine at 14.5. But honestly, just buy down to have a point. Make it easier on yourself. This is suspicious. It's a sandwich spot for Missouri State. Last week they had a big game with Liberty, and then next week they have a big game with Kennesaw State. So this is a sandwich spot. UTEP's only got a couple wins on the year. Why are they only plus 4.5 to Missouri State? That is fishy. So be careful with that one. You almost may want to take UTEP there just because of the sandwich spot and the fishy line. We already talked about that. Another trap game situation. Southern Miss has a big game on deck, and they still have a chance for the conference championship game berth. Also a little low of a line. I would expect 6. So somebody knows something here. Be careful there. You might go with the somebody knows situation. We already talked about that one. I think it's James Madison or pass. I mean, they need to keep blasting people to have a shot at the college football playoff. 12-1 or bust for them, right? We already talked about Duke and Bama. I like Michigan State here. So Penn State had Indiana beat and lost at the end there by that incredible catch by the receiver. And Michigan State is a lot better at home than they are on the road this year. And Penn State has not won a road game. They're 0-3 this year. And I just feel like that was a deflating loss for Penn State last week. And Michigan State kind of treats this as a small rivalry. I feel like they get up for Penn State at home here. And I feel like they cover the number. Penn State probably wins, but I think Michigan State can cover the 7.5. I feel like that's Western Kentucky or pass, but this is a rivalry as well. But Middle Tennessee is really bad, so I don't know. That's Western Kentucky or nothing. Here's another sandwich spot. Sandwich games, they typically cover. The underdog does. Memphis just had what I call the dream killer game last week. They lost to South Florida, and that was the dream killer, really. They needed that to stay or no, it was Tulane. So they kind of they need to keep winning to have a chance at the playoff. But really, that kind of knocked them out. So their only chance now, I think, is just to wreak havoc on everybody that they face, because they got Navy next week. East Carolina's a one-loss team they got this week. So I just feel like they're going to be a little let down here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pirates won this. And I'd rather have a 3, though. But I'm not sure we can. Oh, you can. Yeah, I'll take the Pirates here at the -3. A little more motivated right now. Unders with Belichick have been coming in, so keep that in mind. But it's pretty low with 39.5. I don't know if I would bite on that one. Tough place to play at Georgia Southern, and Coastal Carolina has South Carolina on deck. The mid-majors love those opportunities to go pull off an upset against a high major, but they know they want that conference championship too. So I think I'll take the 3.5 with Coastal Carolina. I think the market's still a little low on them. I feel like they win this game outright. They got a lot to play for right now with only one loss in league. So, yeah, I'll take the Chanticleers. This we already talked about. Almost a best bet there with Ole Miss. I kind of want to add it, actually. I think I will. I'm going to add Ole Miss the best bet board, chat. Okay? I don't got their song with me. You'll just have to trust me. We're going to add Ole Miss. Sam State's really bad. I'd probably be on Delaware, but I don't think I'm going to bet it. We're almost done here. There's a lot of games this week. We already talked about those. Yeah, Ohio State. Who's Florida State to be laying that much against Virginia Tech? I'm going to take the Hokies here. Give me the 13.5. I like it even better if it's 14. Maybe we can get a 14. We can. Give me the Hokies plus 14. Hang around with FSU. Maybe even win the game. I'll take them. I feel like this is a get-right spot for Missouri, so I'll take them to win by a touchdown. Kansas State's better than Jacksonville State, but Jacksonville State's pretty tough at home. So I think I'm going to stay away from that game. Might just do a money line, Kansas State. We'll see how it goes. All right, we should be at the nightcap here. BYU, tough place to play. I like this better at 3, though. And I will that's what I would recommend. If you don't get the 3, I would just buy that half a point and take BYU here. Yeah, I go with the Aztecs again. I know they sucked last week against Hawaii, but I think they were focused on this game. Boise State's on their backup quarterback. And I think the line is telling you this because early in the year, Boise State's probably favored by double digits against San Diego State. Why is it plus 2.5 now? They must know that the backup is not very good. And now San Diego State is good, and they're at home. So I think you got to take the Aztecs. They're kind of telling you what's going to happen. And I think that is everything. So We will get our best bets on the board and swap over to gaming. Keep in mind we've added Ole Miss to the board as well at minus 13.5. We got Arizona B-ball, 2.5 over UCLA. We got Notre Dame minus 10 over Pitt. USC minus 6.5 over Iowa, and New Mexico minus 13.5 to the crumbling Colorado State team. And then Ole Miss minus 13.5 over Florida. There's your best bets board. Let's try to have a better week.